Friends, how do you find your true love? Mutual love, right? To start a family and have children in order to raise them with love and care. That's our goal today. Friends, I think that love is indeed a state of the soul. It is truly the right state, a certain kind of state, certainly. A state that is known for consistently and repeatedly broadcasts messages of surrender and capitulation. A state that tells you that you are simply really ready to give, and just like that. Not because of this, that, or anything else, just simply because. In this particular state, the likelihood of meeting your true love increases significantly, making it a highly favorable condition. In this state, the chance of having children increases significantly. Usually, this state comes as a result of certain hormonal processes and biological functions. The hormonal processes are derived from both the thymus gland and the solar plexus, which are essential for regulating various bodily functions. That is, it is born somewhere here in the upper abdomen inside the chest, a state of being and a profound feeling where everything aligns perfectly, everything feels right, everything is good, everything is harmonious, and everything is calm. And it's good when you are familiar with this feeling in a way that is quite common. It usually arises around the age of 14. Somewhere in the beautiful spring, absolutely everything starts to bloom and work in this wonderful way. And naturally, a person often finds their soulmate from within the circle of people that is nearby, those who are close to them. She is somewhere here. In fact, you have actually matured. And indeed, one of the images that was truly close to you resonated and worked. If you have experienced this in your life, try to remember it in vivid detail. Truly resonate with that profound feeling. Dive deeply into it and immerse yourself completely. And start experiencing it again fully and completely, just like you did back then. You begin to feel these waves and surges of happiness, joy, warmth, and contentment. If this feeling is unfamiliar, it might open up to you when you meet your spiritual mentor, when you encounter the one who ignites your essence, someone who resonates with your spirit. If this concept or idea is also unfamiliar to you, then it is most likely that this particular state of being or condition is not yet accessible or available to you. And all you can really do in such situations is to take some thoughtful and deliberate mental actions to become more likable and appealing, to be, so to speak, practical, convenient, and accommodating for someone else. And of course, they will choose you because you are convenient and practical. But that is not the same as mutual feelings. This is not exactly quite the same as matching all of those intricate pieces of a complex spiritual Tetris game. This notion is not the same as what we refer to as deep, profound love, and it also does not equate to the true, heartfelt exchange of energy that occurs within the heart chakra. Having children, creating a family, and even living happily for a while in your life is accessible to most of you, and joyfully for a significant period of time. But in order to keep it in such a way that it truly and genuinely turns into a beautiful and enchanting fairy tale, where they lived happily together and died on the same day, significant and meaningful sacrifices will have to be made. Sacrificing yourself, your core principles, your deeply held beliefs, your ideas about what is morally right and what should be done in various situations. Those who can sacrifice can switch to a mode of operation where, by stepping over their likes and dislikes, people stay together. But again, it would be truly hard to call this purely sincere, genuine love. If people cannot overcome their deeply ingrained beliefs about what is right and wrong, in my opinion, their life together will be full of challenges and obstacles. These will eventually lead to misunderstandings, and for a brief moment in the beginning, they might be completely and entirely captivated by external beauty, perhaps by the beauty of certain actions. I firmly believe that the very first sincere and genuine love is born and nurtured in the most basic and fundamental aspects of our being, deeply rooted in the innermost, earliest, and deepest mechanisms of our hearts and minds. First of all, it is your own attitude towards yourself, your own attitude towards Mother Earth, and your own attitude towards the Heavenly Father, which ultimately shapes your overall perspective and approach to life in a meaningful way. If there is acceptance, love, trust, and understanding here, the ability to forgive and feel certain, perhaps imperfections and mismatches in our ideas of how things should be, of what we see. In simple terms, towards both father and mother, there should be no claims or expectations, regardless of the circumstances or situations. Any actions from their side towards you. In other words, they are as they are, and that is enough. The very fact of their existence, if they are no longer around feeling this way, they're like gods to you. They are the ones who made you, who brought you into being. These are the ones to whom you owe and are indebted for the very fact of your existence. And that is why humble love, humble trust, total surrender, and kindness towards them in every possible way, with sincerity, with every ounce of your being, and with unwavering commitment, are the only things you can do and give in return for what they have given you. Yes, indeed, there are actually many different cases. Anything can happen. I understand when people often find themselves in a situation where their parents they bullied you in some way, mocked you, and so on. But understand that this transfer primarily and mainly affects, in particular, your relationships with Mother Earth and Father Sky. As strange as it may indeed seem to us, a child initially places the first image of deities on their parents. And as a person grows and matures, they begin to lower their understanding of these things, thereby also lowering and covering their channels of connection with the sky and the earth. It is very important to understand that yes, these energies can be taken from other people, but that is already life force vampirism. If we are talking about the mother, or is this already spiritual vampirism if we are talking about paternal energies? In other words, it is a disruption of normal energy exchange, borrowing the strength that you lack from another person, such as a friend or colleague. Again, this will have to be done by carefully putting the person into some kind of situation. If these are the lower centers, then it must be some kind of physical violence. Oh, you think so? Well, I'll hit you on the head now, and periodically give. Then here it goes, the life force is taken. But if we talk about the higher centers, it's a deception. Do this, do that, manipulations. I'll give you some tea. Yes, they will. Well, that's it. A different kind of energy is taken away. Also, well, it's important to understand, and you probably remember from previous lectures, that every time energy is drawn from the lower chakras, the person feels sleepy. A person becomes sluggish, tired, no desire to move. I'll lie down, sit around, and won't go anywhere. If energy is being drained from the higher chakras, a person feels not exactly thoughtless, but rather a certain dullness, like the head isn't working, some kind of haze. Something opaque has fallen over the eyes. Nothing is clear. A veil, a fog in the head. Eventually, this all leads to drugs, smoking, alcohol, and so on, such as. This suggests that a person is indeed relinquishing their spiritual energy to a negative system, to demonic structures that actually feed somewhere. They feed someone who deceives them, indicating their vulnerability. There are real individuals who actually layer certain things onto him that certainly have little to do with reality, and the person believes in it in order to somehow compensate for their madness, their faith in something unclear. they have to drink, they have to smoke, and do other things. Here are the criteria and indicators to understand whether a person is losing energy from the upper chakras or from the lower chakras. If we are indeed talking about love, it is truly the middle dantian. It is in fact the vital energies of the heart, the vital energies of love, the vital energies of knowledge and recognition. This is not just about faith, it is about the deep feelings we all share, and most importantly, it is about, of course, first and foremost, indeed, maternal energies that are truly entering the heart chakra, really allow you to feel. But it definitely won't be intuition if the paternal world doesn't come here. That is, it is the combination of heaven and earth, the combination of masculine and feminine, the correct combination in the heart chakra that gives intuitive perception. It provides what is called the heart's response. That is, a person knows. Of course, there are many different teachings and directions nowadays. Sometimes people say that they feel something responding there, and they even experience some sensations inside themselves. But this has nothing to do with the real work of the heart chakra or with real love. In other words, it is mostly self-persuasion, a kind of self-training conducted multiple times, setting a certain tone that a person has learned to activate within themselves. But to say that this is the full work of the middle dantian, to say that this is true love, I, for example, cannot. From what I know, from what I have seen, from what I will say, the right state of being in love, I see that the works with you, Victornanda, in Bhakti Yoga, even Karma Yoga, describe many correct things that provide an opportunity to approach and understand the realm of spiritual work with an emotional hue. It is truly very essential to find the key that gives you the feeling of being in love, that special feeling. If it was indeed just a person, reminisce about your very first love. It could simply be like that. If it was indeed some kind of guru or perhaps some kind of teacher, it might be so. Subsequently, if you have truly and completely mastered entering this state, your own deep immersion in it, you don't need to recall your first love or a spiritual mentor or anyone else at all. You just take it and absolutely do it. Let's try to meditate together for a few peaceful minutes so I can clearly show you, through the power of resonance, how it works for me, so that you have an understanding of what this is. If you have already learned to resonate, if you already know what this is, feel the ground beneath you and thank it. Take a deep, calming breath. Now, with a gentle smile, feel the warmth and joy in your heart. And we open our head to the light. We feel like a hollow, empty tube. Like an empty bamboo, we roll back with attention and allow the energy to pass through us, allowing the energy to flow. And all you simply need to do is just carefully and gently observe your breath and the sensations in your body. You can make a light, subtle Mona Lisa smile, a very delicate and gentle, slightly more pronounced smile at the corners of your lips. And just sit, feel the space around you, and just let yourself be present in the moment. To fully feel and truly understand how the energy effortlessly and freely enters and permeates our entire body with each breath, filling us with life and vigor, and leaves it with the exhale. Take your time to breathe in slowly and smoothly, allowing deep inhales to fill your lungs completely, followed by equally deep and we feel how energy flows through each and every one of us, creating a sense of calm and tranquility. We feel a deep relaxation and a profound sense of acceptance within ourselves. In our practice, we consciously avoid the need to justify or explain anything, nor do we compare. This means we do not provide reasons or excuses for our actions, nor offer detailed explanations. Our goal is we simply allow the process to happen naturally and without interference, ensuring that everything unfolds as Just allow the profound and deep feeling to gently touch your heart, embracing the emotions and sensations that arise. We allow ourselves to enter this subtle, essentially vulnerable state of bliss, trust, love, and friendliness by embracing our true selves and opening our hearts to the world around us. This state allows a deeper connection with others. Pleasant energies. If you remain in this state without judgments, without claims, without imposing anything on anyone, including yourself, the chance of meeting your true love increases significantly. Feel them. Feel the warm and gentle flicker of the burning candle in your chest, glowing brightly and radiating. Know that it is there, always. It truly radiates waves of sincere, genuine love, warmth, and happiness, and joy in every single direction. Absolutely. And it is solely you, with your harsh and critical mental judgment, who holds the unique power to extinguish this flame of hope and possibility, leaving only darkness and despair. But you can also nurture and encourage it with your gentle, loving, and consistent attention. How should you handle this delicate and precious light that represents hope and potential? Consider the ways in which you can support its growth and ensure it flourishes. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide, and in the end, I give it to you. I offer you this practice. I offer you these vibrations, energy, and resonance, and harmony. Give it a try. Take a moment to appreciate and enjoy the present. Let yourself be fully immersed in this experience, having the ability to cultivate within yourself these invaluable grains of happiness and love, which you can always rely on to recover. You can always retreat into your inner world. Be yourself, calm your mind, soothe your emotions, recover, take a break, and then return to the world of people. It is, of course, indeed a great blessing if a person has this space. And I definitely want to caution you that you shouldn't show it to everyone. If you have learned to open it in your life, learn to close it. Remember to close it. This will give you the opportunity to preserve what you have and subsequently multiply it in a way that ultimately, finally, when you work, do it alone. It is important. Don't show it to anyone else. Even close people won't always be able to truly, fully understand you. And sometimes, by hurting a person at this very moment, you can cause such significant damage to this central part of their being that it will be extremely difficult to reactivate it without the professional help and intervention of highly trained specialists. Therefore, it is highly recommended that you try to work alone, as doing so will be the best approach for achieving optimal results in your tasks. At the moment, I don't really need anything for work. Currently, in the past, I needed a candle. In the more distant past, an altar, photographs of masters, candles, incense, and some other paraphernalia were needed. And further back in the past, I actually needed the masters themselves and some other practices, people, to catch that feeling. Don't rush. If you have any feeling at all, learn to summon it at all times, learn to activate it and fully, and then complete your practice to the best of your ability. This will give you the opportunity, when you feel that it is right and appropriate to communicate with this person in this particular state. It will give you the chance and a much greater opportunity to find your true love and happiness. It is in this state that you are truly irresistible. Know this, to find love, you must indeed become very love. Good luck on your journey, friends. Light and love. Om.